Hello and welcome to another episode of Public Comment. I'm Councilmember at Large Derek Green. Today we are focusing on an urgent issue that has gripped our city in an unimaginable way, and it is the issue of surging gun violence. According to the latest information provided by the Philadelphia Police Department, homicides are up 14% from this time last year, with over 440 murders to date. At this pace, we are on track to surpass last year's number of 499 homicides before the end of this year. Tragically, we are witnessing an entire generation of young people being wiped out before most of them even reach their 20th birthday. As we try to grasp how to permanently address and resolve this issue, I've invited Eric Williams to join me and share a bit about what he's doing with his partners to help address gun violence in Philadelphia. Their Shape Up initiative is really doing a great job to address and stop the violence, and we'll meet Eric Williams and learn more about Shape Up when Public Comment returns in one moment.
It isn't always easy saying no to sugary snacks. My kids aren't thinking about how awful diabetes can be. That's why I called Snacks. Because I know that
too many sugary snacks can lead to obesity and diabetes. I don't want that in my
kid's future. My secret? I tell her that she'll run faster if she eats healthy food. Replace sugary snacks with these healthier options. For more information, visit foodfitphilly.org.
Hi, I'm Councilmember Isaiah Thomas, and I'm fairly new to City Council, so most of you may know me more for being a coach and a mentor of young people. I'm here to deliver a very important message today. Please stop playing group sports. Please stop congregating with friends. Only leave the house when it's absolutely necessary for the health of you and all Philadelphians. Thank you.
Welcome back to Public Comment. Our guest for today's episode is Eric Williams, and we're going to talk about his anti-violence initiative called Shape Up. Eric, thank you for being here. Welcome to Public Comment. Now, we first met through the work you've done in the autism space, because both of our sons are on the autism spectrum. So how did you transition from doing all the great work you're doing regarding autism to the work you're now doing in reference to anti-violence with Shape Up?
First, thanks for having me. I think the transition has been a little difficult because Shape Up, as you know, and gun violence, they go hand in hand. Unfortunately, they're a hot topic. So my Autism Foundation and the ID space is also a hot topic. So just had to differentiate what's the matter of importance. So, you know, young people are losing their lives daily, and I just had to sit unofficially, pee it down for a few minutes just to focus on this mission.
Now, you've got a lot of connections to West Philly. I know you're a proud West Philly grad. And so now Shape Up is based where? It's based at a barbershop in West Philly?
Yes, it's based out of ESPN in Arizona, 5929 West Girard. The founder of Shape Up and owner of ESPN, my West Philly alum, Mike Monroe.
Okay.
So Mike couldn't be here today, but I'm just representing the organization.
So now what does Shape Up do? From my understanding, you really work with young people and you really use the barbershop as a means to have communication with young people.
So Shape Up, we offer our programs every first and third Monday to youth ages 12 to 34 in the barbershop. As you know, the barbershop presents one of the most comfortable settings in our communities. So what better place to have a dialogue to where the youth feel free. They're in there, they frequent daily, and the conversations that Mike had with the youth, not necessarily just getting guns off the street, but he just presents that father figure to so many. So it's been a vital reason why we have it in the barbershop.
Now, since you started Shape Up, how has the program grown, and what has been some of your great success stories?
Some of the greatest success stories are seeing the young men come in, actually just saying hi. Good posture, eye contact, shaking her hand. Of course, we can't do that now with COVID, so you got to do the elbow bump. But just to see them come in and just talk about their future. You know, coming from low to moderate income families, single parent homes, and some may not have an outlet but just to hear them want to go to the next level, whether it be college or a trade school, has been phenomenal. And then we're actually partnering up with organizations. One of our participants wants to be a judge. We got them set up with a judge, one wants to be a lawyer, and one wants to be an orthodontist. So we set them up there, and then also giving them the platform to be who they are, and strive in the settings that they are used to.
Now, with the success you've had with Shape Up, where do you see the program going into the future?
Just see us moving from the barbershop to a brick and mortar building, and even having it outside doing seasonal. So bringing more youth in, because we can only take, due to COVID, probably 10 to 12. So have Shape Up facilities throughout the city. We have a barbershop consortium where we have over 120 barbers, and then we have probably 200 barbershops that's willing to do this. So train the barbers up as facilitators and mentors, and then have them come out and teach the youth back. We're also getting into the school system. We just finished a five-week program at Friary Charter Middle School. We're working with some after schools in West Philly High to put Shape Up programs in their schools, because it's needed.
Now, with this network of barbers all across the city of Philadelphia, and the fact that we had 499 homicides last year, what do you see are the impediments of really growing Shape Up? Because clearly what you're doing is being effective in West Philadelphia, but it's something that's definitely needed around the city.
So just spread the word. And Shape Up isn't the only organization. It's good to see others, and we kind of bounce and share our networks. So it's no one entity is going to get it done, but the barbershops, there are barbershops in every other corner that you look. So educating the barbers on what it takes to really give the content to the youth, and just have the youth just to come in and sit there, even if they don't know what Shape Up is all about. But while they're in there frequenting a barbershop to maybe get a haircut, because everybody wants to look good. So while you're there 30 minutes to 2 hours, learn how to exchange dialogue to what you're going through. And we take the A student, I don't even know if there's an F student still, but we take both and we pair them together. And it's just been a rewarding program that we're doing.
Now, Shape Up is a grassroots organization really doing great work in West Philly, and we love to see it grow to be citywide. But you've also partnered with the University of Pennsylvania in some of the work you're doing. Tell us a little bit about that work as well.
So some years ago, University's Penn School of Nursing went to Mike's barbershop, and they wanted to do a study focused on barbers building better brothers. So at the time, they just did the research, and they took high crime areas throughout Philadelphia, and then they had a series of survey questions. So they built like apps on an iPad, technology, and then he had them in there. They did a training video, and then that was just one phase of it. That was just the research program. So they went to National Institute of Child Development, Human Child Development, and they did a study. They got some funding for it. However, gun violence wasn't where it is 10 years ago to where it is currently. So Mike and I, we rewrote the program to make it affect today's issues that we're dealing with. So just getting that message out on a different level has just been rewarding. And then we actually turn Shape Up as a program that's essential to how our youth need to develop throughout our communities.
Now, how can the city of Philadelphia be a better partner with Shape Up? Because not only are you a grassroots organization, but also research-based, based on the work with the University of Pennsylvania. But considering the challenge that we have in reference to gun violence, what would you say that the city can do to better partner with organizations like Shape Up, who are really providing this grassroots assistance to help us reduce the gun violence in Philadelphia?
For one, we are officially a startup, so we're less than 6 months in. However, the work that we're doing, we don't just do this every first and third Monday, but we're doing it 6 days a week and sometimes 7. So what the city can do to allow us to spread our wings, sort of say, just allow us to be in different locations throughout, whether it be different districts. Right now we're operating out of the 4th District, and Councilman Curtis Jones Jr., he's been a big supporter of that. So now that we're going on board, and of course one of the key things is funding. Because of some of the the RFPs that I actually write for, we disqualify ourselves because we haven't been in service for 2-3 years of what the RFP consists of. So just even though we just disqualified for terms of service, but I think at least our work warrants the conversation to see where we go, and even we can partner together. We just did a community resource fair in Carroll Park in West Philly last Saturday, and it's been rewarding. So you couldn't tell that we were a 3-month, 6-month program because of everybody that's came out, all of the information that was shared through the community. So I think we just shouldn't be disqualified from that, but we just need to have a system to where you just don't, quote unquote, fall back to the mayor's activity grant. There should be other opportunities for us to get the funding that was just allocated to some of the other programs.
So Shape Up is doing phenomenal work in West Philadelphia, and if I'm someone who's watching this and want to learn more about Shape Up and how I can get involved, how can we reach out and contact Shape Up?
Sure, so you can contact us for a few ways, 267-258-8687, and that's my number, which I had to get another number because it's just been ringing off the hook, which is a great thing. You can also email us at info@shapeup5929.org, and then you can visit our website, www.shapeup5929.org.
So let's give that once again. If we want to reach out to Shape Up, how do we do that?
267-258-8687. Email info @shapeup SHAPEUP5929.org, or visit our website www.shapeup5929.org.
Well, Eric, thank you for being here on Public Comment. Thank you and to what you guys are doing with Shape Up and really trying to address the issue of gun violence in our city. You're doing great work in West Philadelphia, and we hope to expand that to around the entire city of Philadelphia.
I think it's a pleasure to be here, and like you said, we go way back, so whenever you need me, I'm there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And thank you all for being with us for this part of Public Comment. We'll be back in one moment.
Influenza is a virus that spreads every winter. Typically, we see the start of influenza season in December. Primarily, it picks up in January. Most years, we see the peak incidence occurring in February and March. It causes respiratory, febrile, fever-like illness, and it kills people. It killed 51 people last year in Philadelphia. The best strategy for people to recognize and to protect themselves from contracting influenza and staying safe is to practice good hygiene with respect to coughing, sneezing, hand washing, social distancing, we call it, when you separate yourself if you're sick from other people. So like we talked about, staying home from work or from school if you have symptoms. And then the best way is to get every year seasonal flu vaccine, because vaccine has the ability to provide your own protective immunity so that when you come in contact with viruses like this, you have some protection against getting sick. Vaccine is the best preventive measure we have to protect people from getting the flu. Influenza is it's a virus of the respiratory tract. And so someone who has influenza and is sick with symptoms, is coughing, talking, in close proximity, they'll spread flu in droplets. When they sneeze or cough or even talk, contain influenza virus particles, and that can land on somebody that's nearby within a 3 to 6 foot distance. And then someone can touch their face or their nose or rub their eyes and can get infected that way with influenza. It can also survive on surfaces. So if somebody doesn't use proper hand washing or doesn't cover their sneeze or coughs when they cough or sneeze, and they use their hands and then they touch a doorknob or a rail, virus can be put onto those surfaces, and then someone else can come along within a few hours, touch those surfaces, and then rub their face, rub their eyes, rub their nose, and then they can get influenza that way.
Cooking breakfast isn't always possible, but I won't have my kids going to school hungry or eating sugary donuts or pastries first thing in the morning. That's why I call the snacks. Because I know that eating too many sugary snacks can lead to obesity and diabetes. And I don't want that in my kids' future. My secret is I always keep apples and bananas in the house so my kids can have a healthy breakfast and never be hungry on the way to school. Replace sugary snacks with these healthier options. For more healthy options, visit foodfitphilly.org.
Thank you for watching this episode of Public Comment. We'll return in the new year with more great information, and we'll talk about the upcoming budget as well as get an update on President Biden's Build Back Better plan and how this infrastructure initiative will help Philadelphians in their own communities. Until then, I'm Councilmember at Large Derek Green, reminding you to stay safe, get vaccinated, and I'm sending best wishes to you and your family. Have a great and healthy holiday season. Take care.